In this part, first we want to review the comparison sentences in Chinese. 他的衣服比我的贵。他的衣服比我的贵。So that's the basic structure. A, B, B adjective or a feeling verb. You have to pay attention if you want to indicate the actual gap between A and B. This part needs to be placed after the whole structure. 他的衣服比我的贵一点儿，一点儿 indicates a small gap. 他的衣服比我的贵多了。他的衣服比我的贵得多，多了的多都可以。They indicate a big gap. 他的衣服比我的贵50块。50块 indicates an actual gap, $50 more expensive. So the gaps, the differences are all placed after the whole structure. There's one exception, 更 even more, 更。他的衣服比我的更贵。So with 更, you indicate that both his clothes and my clothes are expensive, but his is even more expensive. That tells us if you see 一点儿 after the adjective, actually you're dealing with a comparison sentence. Sometimes this information, comparison information is hidden. For example, 老师，你今天很快，能慢一点吗？能慢一点吗？ So first of all, we see the difference between 有点 and 一点。有点 is used to replace 很、非常 this kind of degree adverbs. 有点 indicates slightly, the level, the lowest level. 老师，你今天有点快，你今天很快，你今天非常快，你今天太快了。If you could use 很、非常、太 you could replace the level with 有点 slightly fast. 你能比现在慢一点吗？ Can you be a little slower than the current speed? You don't usually see this part because it's a hidden comparison sentence. You will just hear, 老师，你今天有点快，能慢一点吗？能慢一点吗？好，这件衣服有点大，你们有小一点的吗？ Do you have a little bit smaller one? You hear that comparison? So that's why 一点 is placed after the adjective, because it shows the gap in the comparison structure. 这个菜有点油，我们点清淡一点的菜吧。我们点清淡的，清淡一点 a little lighter, 清淡一点的菜。Now let's get to the negative sentences. 姚明，你们认识吗？姚明比吴老师高，对吧？哇，姚明比吴老师高多了。That's the positive structure. Negative sentence. 吴老师没有姚明高，没有。So for comparison sentences, we use 没有 to replace be.To indicate that A is not as something as B. 吴老师没有姚明高，姚明高，吴老师没有姚明高。In this lesson, we're going to use 不如 to replace 没有 in a negative comparison sentence. 我的中文好，你们的中文不如我的好。你们的中文不如我的好。 我的英文不如你们的好。我的英文不如你们的好。So 不如 indicates A is not as good as B. A 不如 B. 不如没有。We have more examples. 我跑得不如小李快。我跑得没有小李快。这台烘干机不如那台烘干机新。这台烘干机没有那台烘干机新。这个公寓的家具不如那个公寓的好。这个公寓的家具没有那个公寓的好。In these several sentences, 不如 and 没有 they are interchangeable, but not always interchangeable. 不如 and 没有 if you see the adjective in that negative comparison sentence, you can use either of them. They're interchangeable. But if you don't see this adjective, then you have to choose 不如 because originally 不如 already comes with the meaning of not as good as. So it already includes an adjective, good. Right? 我的中文没有他的好。我的中文不如他的好。You see the adjective 好 here. So both 没有 and 不如 work. But if you don't see this adjective, 我的中文不如他的 My Chinese is not as good as his, then you cannot use 没有 in this second sentence because you don't see the adjective. More examples here. 我唱歌唱得不如他，但是他跳舞跳得不如我。You don't see the person using 没有 because there's no adjective here. 话多不如话好，话好不如话少。You don't see the adjective here. That's why we only use 不如, we don't use 没有. This is our task in class. 请用不如说完下边这些话。